So we're going to look now at writing balanced symbol equations for the reactions between metals and acids. We've already hopefully looked at the word equations, so some of this won't be unfamiliar. Before we start, we need to know the formula of the three common inorganic acids that you're going to have to be able to write equations for. And that's hydrochloric acid, HCl, nitric acid, HNO3, and H2SO4, which is sulfuric acid. We have to know those if we're going to be able to successfully write symbol equations. You also need to be able to write the formulae for some salts. If you're not sure how to do that, you need to go back and have a look at that because I'll be briefly talking about this, but where we find the charges on some of the ions is dealt with in other videos. So let's go through the steps that we would need to go through. And we're going to have a look at our first example, the reaction between magnesium and sulfuric acid. So step one in any one of these is to check, is to write the word equation. So magnesium and sulfuric acid makes magnesium sulfate and hydrogen. So we've done step one. Step two is to check the formula or write the formula of the salt. Now this is where we're going to have to know some other pieces of information from previous learning and previous videos. So magnesium sulfate is made up of a magnesium ion and a sulfate ion. Because they've got the same charges, we only need one of each. So that's a nice straightforward one. The formula for sulfuric acid, for magnesium sulfate, is MgSO4. Once we've done that, we can then write the symbol equation. So magnesium is Mg, sulfuric acid is H2SO4, magnesium sulfate, which we've worked out, is MgSO4, and remember that hydrogen is a diatomic gas or a diatomic element that has the formula H2. So for that one, everything's done. We don't need to do anything more. Okay, let's have a look this time though if we react magnesium with hydrochloric acid. Now, this is going to make the salt magnesium chloride and hydrogen. So we need to write the formula of the salt. So we're looking at this. Now this time, the salt is going to be made up of an Mg2+ ion and a Cl- ion. So because we've got a 2+ here and we've got only a single minus there, we're going to need 2 chloride ions. I'm now going to rewrite those without the charges because once we've got balanced charges, we can get rid of them. And then I'm going to write it as a proper formula. Now, this is something we've done in previous learning, is getting from here all the way down to here. So I'm not spending any more time on that. But once we get to that, that is the formula for the salt magnesium chloride. Step 3 is going to be to write the symbol equation. Now we'll see at this point that that symbol equation isn't balanced. So there's an extra step that we need here, and that is to balance the equation. And again, this is something we've done in previous lessons and in previous videos. If you're not sure on that, then you'll need to go back and have a quick check of those. So in order to balance that, I put a 2 in front of the HCl, and that balanced the equation for me. Let's have a look at another example. So the next example is going to be the reaction between sodium and sulfuric acid. So again, step 1 is to write the word equation. So sodium and sulfuric acid makes sodium sulfate and hydrogen. We need to write the formula for sodium sulfate. Sodium sulfate is made up of an Na+ ion and a sulfate SO4 2- ion, which means that we need 2 Na+ ions, 2 sodium ions, in order to balance up the charges. I'll write it without the charges once I've balanced it, and then the final step is to write that as a proper equation like that. So that's the equation for sodium sulfate, or the formula for sodium sulfate. So that was step 2 there, which is working out the formula. Step 3 is for us to write the equation. So sodium Na plus sulfuric acid H2SO4 makes Na2SO4, which is that one there, and then H2. And then in order to balance this one, so step 4 is balancing it, we'll need to put a 2 in front of the Na. Right, let's have a look at one more example, and this is going to be the reaction between zinc and nitric acid. So again, step 1, write the symbol equation. Zinc plus nitric acid makes zinc nitrate and hydrogen. Write the formula for the zinc nitrate. This is a slightly more complicated one. Zinc almost always forms 2+ ions, and we'll need one nitrate ion. It has a formula NO3 with a minus charge on it. Then in order to balance that up, we'll need 2 nitrate ions. Let's then write those without the charges, but because these are compound ions, we'll need to put that in brackets. So that is the formula for zinc nitrate. Let's write the symbol equation. Zinc plus nitric acid, HNO3, makes zinc nitrate and H2. And in order to balance that, our final step, we will need to put a 2 in front of the nitric acid, the HNO3. Thank you very much.